I had no manpower. I didn't have enough people on my team or on my side, but that didn't stop me. So let's talk about leveraging people to achieve your goals in a kind way, in a good way, not in a bad way. I'll give you a couple examples that happened to me to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. I was once working in a gas station in the middle of the hood at midnight. And when I came into the gas station, this is back when I was in my 20s, and I relieved the daytime worker. I came in at the nighttime, and I guess the daytime worker had an issue with a lady who was pumping gas previous to my shift. He left, and she was still pumping gas. She came in and had an issue with the pump, and there was a discrepancy about the money or something. I don't know, I forget. She got upset, and she called the cops. The cops came, and they were kind of not friendly. They were kind of mean. I get it. Cops can be frustrated at nighttime. They're probably gonna leave their shift soon, and they're being called for something like this. I don't know what was wrong with them, but they end up taking that anger out on me. And I tried to explain to them. I had a store full of customers, and I tried to explain to them that it wasn't during my shift, that I didn't have the power to do anything. That they'd have to contact the owner or wait until the owner comes to deal with the situation. I'll give them a call. They were upset and they kind of turned on me and they asked me to come up from behind the counter so they can talk with me. I'm on my shift. I did nothing wrong. And they were just trying to bully me. So it was me versus two cops who were having a bad day, obviously. So what I did was I stopped business in the store with about 20 customers in the shop, and I asked them to all please stop their day, stop doing what they're doing, and pause their transactions because the cops are stopping me from doing my job, and I have to come out from behind the counter to talk with them. And what do you think happened? We're in the middle of the hood, where people are not really friendly with cops. They all got upset and they're like, they gotta go, they got stuff to do, nobody has time to wait for no cops, what have you. And I turned the situation around from me being innocent, dealing with two cops on a bad day, to a store filled with 20 people who all of a sudden aligned their desires with my desire of not being in trouble with the cops for no reason, and they wanting to leave and needing me to stay behind the counter to take care of them. So I was able to kind of get the crowd on my side to kind of avoid a situation that could have turned really bad because these cops were really having a bad day. And everything ended up working out in the end. But again, that's how I was able to use the people, leverage the people's power, power in numbers, to kind of have me avoid a situation where it could have turned ugly, right? The second situation I had was when I went to buy a car, and at that time I was still young, and my credit wasn't that good, and it was very hard to get approved for the vehicle. So the guy that was actually working on getting me the loan told me, "Hey, we're gonna try our best, but we can't make any promises." So what I ended up doing was I ended up going to Google review, and I left the Google review saying the guy's name who's working on the financing with me, as well as the name of the actual company that I'm buying the car from. And I said, this guy's working his hardest to make my dreams come true, and they're trying to get me this car, trying to get me approved, and it's very hard to get me approved. But if he can approve me, then he can approve everyone. I will keep you guys updated, and hopefully he's able to get me approved. And if he does, then know that you can get approved too, and you can come shop with him. I submitted that Google review, I screenshotted it, and I sent it to the guy that was working on getting me the car. And guess what happened? Not five, I'm sorry, 2 days later, guess what happened? I got a phone call and I was approved for a loan to buy the car. The car right now is paid in full. I've had the car for a long time now. Everything worked great. I end up going back and leaving a Google review saying, hey, these guys made my dreams come true. If they did it for me, then they can do it for you. Go see them. I screenshotted that and I also sent it to the people, and they told me that they applied to about, I think, 17 different banks until I got approved. They weren't going to get me approved. They weren't going to work on it this hard. But because I leveraged the online community through Google reviews, they were obliged to help me. I had no manpower. I didn't have enough people on my team or on my side, but that didn't stop me. I was able to leverage people to kind of come on my side in a way that was kind and honest to get me to the goal I was looking for. And if my goal was achieved, then the people who were involved also had their goals achieved. In the first scenario, the people were able to keep me behind the counter to catch them out so they can go about their day or about their night. And the second scenario, the people who are wanting a car and who feels like they can't get approved know that, hey, if they approve this guy, then that means they can probably approve me. So that's a little lesson on hopefully understanding the power of leverage and trying to get people on your side, even though you feel like you have no manpower. There's always a way, right? If you just put your mind to it, you'll be able to figure out exactly how to get what you want without hurting anyone and with being kind and making sure it's a win-win for everyone involved. So hopefully you can learn from this story. Any questions, comment below. I'm here to answer anything. I'm just sharing my life and sharing my adventures in business to hopefully help and guide somebody else who's trying to find their way. See you guys later.